If I had Facebook, my status with this movie would be, it's complicated. The Lion King. So in a world of live-action adaptations of animated Disney classics, The Lion King is a live-action adaptation that's all CGI, but I'm gonna call it live-action for my part here, because this movie is treated like live-action. I feel like if it was animated, if it was considering itself animated, the lions and other animals in this movie would emote a different emotion other than the baseline indifference. And I'm gonna assume you've seen The Lion King, or know what The Lion King is. It's Hamlet. This is the live-action yet CGI remake of the animated remake of the live-action Hamlet. A lot of the time, it's an impressive CGI reskin of the animated Lion King that does quite a few things not quite as good as the animated Lion King. And really, I looked at the hashtag The Lion King. There's a bunch of people that came out of the premiere, and a lot of them said the same two things. Timon and Pumbaa steal the show, and visually, it's remarkable. Those two things are absolutely correct. So correct, in fact, they might actually be on the Blu-ray case, because that's undeniable. They do go a bit overboard on the fart jokes with Pumbaa. It's like, hey, Pumbaa was gassy in the animation, but this is rated PG, so we'll like quadruple down on it. Farts are funny. But as a huge Lion King fan, I do have a couple problems with this movie. The biggest and most glaring is the fact that, yeah, like the lions and the animals, they don't actually show facial emotion or expression that well. They do move the eyes and eyebrows a couple times a little bit, and it does help. But most of the time, this movie does accurately emulate lion emotion in the face. That's a lion's happy face. That's a lion's sad face. That's a lion's confused face. See what I'm getting at? It's kind of hard. When I was first watching this movie, when I got out of this movie, I thought the dialogue seemed stiff, the characters seem stiff. It's like they don't seem emotional. It's like if I wanted to see a bunch of emotionless characters, I'd hang out in the dystopian future of Equilibrium. But when I'm really thinking about it, it feels like it's the lions that feel that way. Like if I look at the characters that stood out for me, Zazu, Timon and Pumbaa, Shanzi. They actually do a cool thing with Shanzi that brings her into the foreground as an actual antagonist, not some side character. She's the leader of the hyenas, and you feel that in here. I thought that was cool. I don't know if Jon Favreau was like, all right, guys, we're not going to actually have the lions show a lot of emotion, so if you could not show a lot of emotion in your voice, that would help, because it would help mix it well with the facial expression. It would look really weird if you sound emotional, but they don't look so emotional. So I don't know if it was a call like that was made. I assume something like that had to have happened, because even James Earl Jones, who plays the same character he played in the Lion King animation, even he feels a bit more flat. And it could be because I don't have the visual facial expressions to go with the voices, so it doesn't feel like they're as emotional because they don't look as emotional. It could be a psychological thing like that. Yeah, absolutely. All I know is I feel a disconnect when I watch this movie. Because, you know, I'm a human being. I like seeing emotions in the face. That's just kind of how we are. Maybe not all of us. Maybe you can roll with it. But I kind of can't. So there that is. But I also think a big thing at work here is that the lions were more locked into iconic dialogue that wasn't made for these actors. Like if I'm looking at Scar, for example, Chiwetel Ejiofor, great actor, and he's going for a darker, more brooding Scar, which is fine, you're going for a different Scar, but for the most part in this movie, he's delivering lines made for a more eccentric Jeremy Irons Scar. Doesn't really fit well with the acting job he's doing in here. Even when he has the mouse and Zazu comes in and he loses the mouse, Irons is like, oh look, Zazu, you made me lose my lunch. This is like, Zazu, you made me lose my lunch. However, there's this one scene, this new scene of dialogue between him and Sarabi. It's a new scene for this movie, written for this version of Scar, and it's actually awesome. So I'm like, all right, he crushed it there. So when he's doing Jeremy Irons lines, that's where the conflict happens. And I feel like that happens a lot in here. It's just like, no, actors, you're doing lines made famous and made for other actors from 1994. But it doesn't really mix so well with the actors now. They have to be free to do their own thing. And when they do their own thing, it's actually quite good. And that's why I think Zazu, Shanzi, Timon, and Pumbaa, they all stand out to me because they have the most dialogue that's new. And I feel like it was them just ad-libbing, you know? You're like, all right, I'll just do my own thing and make it mine without losing the essence of the character. I feel like they might have had that freedom more than the lions, but the fact remains at the core, the root, the dialogue, the characters, the emotion in this version of The Lion King, not as good as the animation. And this movie has a problem with its pauses and beats. Gonna compare it again to the animation. Can't you review the remake without comparing it to the animation? No, I can't. In the original Disney animation, Nala and Simba, they scuffle when they're adults, and Nala pins him to the ground, and he goes, Nala? And she backs up, and there's a beat, and he goes, it's me, Simba. And you can see her like kind of processing it, like, seriously? And then, you know, there are beats in there where the characters are processing information. This movie doesn't do that. It's just like, boom, Nala, Simba, yeah, okay. No beats. You just kind of know now. And that happens quite a few times. Quite a few times in this movie, the lines are coming out and it's like they're just going through the motions because they're like, all right, this is classic dialogue. We're just getting through it. It made the characters, if not the actors, kind of come across as bored. Even with some of the cinematography, I mean, there are some extraordinary looking things that happen in this movie. Absolutely not taken away from that. But there are some shots from the Lion King animation that would have really done well to be in here. Like that epic sweeping, oh my God, what's a Pride Rock reveal? Not in this movie. Stampede's about to happen. Oh my God, Simba realizes he's in deep shit shot. Shot's not in the movie. And there's not a comparable shot. It's like, no, but there's an even better shot. No. I mean, the intro is otherwise a really cool recreation of the intro to The Lion King, but now looks like live action. But yeah, the reveal of Pride Rock just kind of slides into frame. It pans over, and when it comes into frame, then the music kicks on, Circle of Life. It is not nearly as epic as coming over a hill, and there it is. And they took out Be Prepared and filled it in with some half-ass version of Be Prepared. It's like Be Prepared, that whole song number isn't really in it. There's like half of a Be Prepared song number. Like they were like, oh, fans are mad, Be Prepared's not gonna be in it. Well, just half-ass a version of it. Like if you're making a remake of something and you take something out, you have to put something back in order to make it feel even. Otherwise, you're just making the experience lighter. And I feel like this remake took out more than it put back. That's as simple as I can put it. The moment they actually elevated in here is the Lion Sleeps Tonight moment. You know, Timon and Pumbaa going, in the jungle, in the animation, they're singing that. They do that in here, and it's actually, they do the moment better, and it transitions to another moment in a new way. It's like, it's a familiar moment that they do in a new way that makes the experience new, and they actually elevate it. Good on that moment. I just wish more moments in this movie did that. Hans Zimmer's score is great. It was great the first time he did it too, but it's really neat to see the arrangement and what's the same, what's different, where you might have tweaked this, how this sounds a little different, how it sounds the same. And it's fun to do. I mean, if you're a big music head, that might be worth watching it just for that. Guys, in the end, it did feel like it's a Disney cash grab. I thought this movie was actually pretty solid as a tech demo. It's like a mod, you know, like Final Fantasy VII on PC, how they have user mods where it's like, all right, they don't look like blocky polygons. They actually look like more detailed characters. There are mods that do that. This feels like a mod like that. Only imagine as a result of that mod, the characters' dialogue and emotions feel a bit more flat. That's the trade-off you make for incredible visuals. Yep. This kind of breaks my heart, but whatever. I'm just gonna say, this movie probably be a better time if you're drunk. Yeah, now it's what? Yeah, I'm never gonna see it again. Like, I have a better version of The Lion King that has better moments, that gets to the point better, that I like how they did the characters better. Why would I ever watch the live action one again? If the CGI is keeping this movie afloat, that's only gonna keep it afloat for about a year. I'll see great CGI in movies to come that aren't out yet. So, all right, so live action, yet not quite live action, but doesn't matter because after I do this video, I never have to hear about whether or not this is live action or animated again. Lion King remake. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And if you can give this video a like, I do appreciate it. It does help the video out, thus help my channel out, thus help me out. Certainly help my Stranger Things Season 3 review. It did. I appreciate that. It'll probably help this one too. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.